Hello guys, welcome to class 8 of our Cybersecurity Foundation series. So today we're going to talk about a very interesting and important topic in this series, which is the security event monitoring with Splunk using snort logs. So in our last class, we talked about snort and how we can install and start snort and where the logs is being located. So today we're going to just talk about how to integrate that logs into our SIEM tool. Okay, so at the end of this course, students should do what? Understand SIEM, which is the Security Information and Event Management tool, and how it is used in real world by SOC analysts or during SOC operations. So they should understand the difference between log source, that is the system logs, the snort alerts, and etc., and how to utilize them. They should install and configure Splunk Free Edition in Linux system. Ingest not generated logs and Linux system logs, which is the auth logs, the sys logs, into Splunk. You should search and investigate what events like file login attempts, privilege escalation, network intrusion, etc. So create a dashboard report and then alerts to monitor and visualize threats. Okay, so what is SIEM? SIEM stands for Security Information and Event Management. It is a solution that provides real-time analysis of security alerts, logs, aggregations and normalization, threat detection and correlation, dashboard and reporting. So then SIEM use case. It is used in threat detection, like detecting brute force attacks, spot scanning, etc. Incidents investigation, like searching logs to trace attackers' behavior. Compliance reporting. We have a lot of compliance policies, like maybe the GDPR, the HIPAA, and in Nigeria, something like the GRP. So it just have to make sure that those systems in your organization, they work in line with those policies. So it will generate an audit report that to ensure that, okay, to see if those systems are actually working with the policies as well. So correlation and enrichment mean linking multiple events into a single alert. So we have the host-based versus network-based log. So the log source type, examples, tools, and then the data example. So for the host-based logs, we have the auth logs, the sys logs, the logs from Wazoo, and then example of them can be the login attempt or the file changes. And then the network base, you have the snort, the suricata, which can be the intrusion attempt or scanning attempts by an attackers. So Splunk overview, because we are going to make use of Splunk as our SIEM tool in this course. So it's just good we talked about it in a little bit before we go to our practical session. So Splunk is a powerful SIEM platform that allows ingestion of raw logs files from multiple sources, searching logs with powerful search syntax, visualizing using dashboard, setting up alerts based on certain patterns, example, multiple files logins. So we are just going to go into our Ubuntu device and try to see how we can install Splunk, see how we can take snort rules and integrate it into Splunk and monitor it in real time. So let's meet in our Ubuntu device. See you there. Welcome to our practical demo on SIEM, and then we are going to use Splunk as our SIEM tool. So if you want to download Splunk, you go to the official website. Okay, let's open our browser. I'm using Firefox on my Ubuntu device. Let's give it some time. For some reasons, my network has been slow these days, so I'm just going to create this. Then we try splunk.com. Try splunk.com. Wow, let's give it a little time. Okay, so we are there. in Splunk. So this Splunk official website. So you can just go to trials and download to see software that we can try. And Splunk Enterprise is free for I think 60 days, which is a lot of days for you to practice your Splunk skill. So download and install Splunk Enterprise, try on your own hardware or cloud instance. So you can decide to install this Splunk on cloud. Maybe something like the Linux, where you can monitor all your system in real time. So you have like 500 MB per day. That is it. It index some logs up to like 500 MB per day, and you have 60 days no credits required opportunity. So you just get free trial. It will ask you to log in if you are not logged in, and then to show you an option to download. This is the universal forwarder, which you also download and install it in the same time, because Splunk software comprises of a lot of components. We have the Splunk server, we have the Splunk indexer, we have the Splunk universal forwarder, and Splunk dashboard or web UI interface. So all this software integrate together to ensure that you use Splunk adequately to log file and analyze them in real time. Like the Splunk forwarder is installed in all the client system that want to forward their logs to the server. So once the logs get to a server, once the logs get to a server, it's going to be the job of the indexer to index each of these logs, ready to be queried by what? By the Splunk user. So the user will put in a search query onto the UI that is from the browser. You can use the dashboard, the UI interface. Then it will go to the Splunk server and query the details that was logged in or indexed by the indexer. So all these components all together works to ensure that you have a seamless kind of operation during when you're using Splunk for monitoring. So if you're not logged in, you can log in from here. I've already registered this Splunk, so I will just log into my account, and then to give you opportunity to download your Splunk. So I don't know, for some reasons my network is being slow. So let's just give it some time. Okay, so going to log in now. Let's just give it some time. Okay, it's coming up. So if you have not watched our video on how to install and start snort, please, I will appreciate you go to our previous video, and you go to our playlist. You see the video for snort, and then you watch it. It will really aid your understanding in Splunk, in using Splunk every time. So this is it. Let's give it some time. Okay, so you have access to download Splunk for Windows, for Linux, or Mac OS. So if you download it for Linux, which is your Debian system, you can choose any of these. I will appreciate you go for this Debian. If you are using it for Ubuntu, just like I'm using it for Ubuntu, you can download it from here. It's to go directly into your download folder. It is about 894 or let's say approximately 900 MB. So you can copy this link and use wget to download it as well. So when you download it into your system, let's go to our download folder. Let's go to our download folder. Today into download. So you can see you have something like this when you download into your system. That's something like this. So all you need to do is to sudo dpkg. Then what you want to install, Splunk Okay, so you enter and then to install. I've already installed Splunk on my system, so no need of me installing it. You can also copy this to the option folder, which is the option folder. Okay, you can also copy it down here because once you install Splunk, you will see it in the option directory. So you can see I have my Splunk already installed, and then I also have my forwarder installed as well. So same thing with the forwarder. It's basically the same thing. You just have to choose forwarder instead of Splunk Enterprise. You just choose the forwarder as well. So I can just go into my Splunk folder here. Go into my Splunk folder here. Okay, so and then go into my bin. Oh, I think I'm just having issue with some typo errors today. Let's clear that. Okay, so Splunk sudo Splunk version. You can see that we have Splunk 9.4.3 on this. So you can start as Splunk by giving it this command. When you're starting your Splunk for the first time, you have to use the accept license. You have to use the accept license option. But when you're starting your Splunk after you have installed the Splunk for the first time, you're just starting it with something like this, Splunk, and then start. So Splunk is starting, and then it's going to open on port 8000. So we just have to start Splunk, and then from there you just open it from here. Open link. So because I've already do some configuration, when you're doing it for the first time, it might ask you to enter your password and the rest. Enter your password and then you enter a main password, and then basically have to use the password you remember. So let's just give you some time. Let me check if we have some firewall in our system right now. Sudo ufw status. Okay, firewall is active, so you just have to sudo ufw disable. Okay, so we have stopped our firewall, so we can start our Splunk again. It's already running, so we just have to go in here. Okay, so firewall actually blocked that traffic, but we have done what we needed to do with that. So you can log in. I've already created my account, so I'll just log into my account. I don't have to create it again. Okay, so let's just give it some time to log into our Splunk accounts. Okay, so we are logged into our dashboard, and then in the list of apps here, you can see we have apps, and you list the apps that we have here. We have the search and reports. We have the audit trail. Yeah, and we just installed the snort alert for Splunk, the Splunk secure gateway, the upgrade readiness. You can also install more apps by find more apps. If you go to find more apps, it will give you the option to find most of your apps. Okay, for some reasons, my network as well. So you can filter the app that you need, maybe by IT or the rest. It's just going to list it out. So you can see, you can filter it by IT operation and security, fraud compliance. You can, okay, go with this as well. The vulnerability scanner, the visualization and ticketing, SIEM, sandbox, and the rest. You just have a lot of filter for that. So you just go out to our Splunk here. Okay. So when you are here, you have the option to add data, search for data, visualize your data, manage alerts. So alerts that are coming to the system, add your team. If you're not the only person managing snort and you want to add a lot of team member, you have an option to add it here. Manage permissions. So you can give permission and roles to the member you have added, then configure mobile devices and the rest. You have a lot of options there. Okay. So you can come to your settings if you want to add data. If you want to forward data as well, you can add data from here if you want to. If you go into our add data here, you can see that we have a lot of options to add data. A lot of options just such as you can upload your data. Maybe this file, this snort file was being saved by maybe your fellow SOC analyst, and you are asked to analyze, and then you can monitor in real time the files and put on this Splunk platform instantly. You can just monitor it from there, or you can you can use a forwarder to forward the Splunk logs. You can use a forwarder to forward logs from the end system into Splunk. These are just the various methods where you can add data to Splunk. Okay, so if you want to add a forwarder, what you need to do is to come into forwarding and receiving, and then to receive data, you want to configure a receiver. I've already configured that, but you can add new ports. That is the port that the Splunk server will be listening to the forwarder. So the forwarder is going to forward all the host logs onto this port. So for now, it is enabled, and you can also delete it if you want to, but we are going to use it in this session. Okay, so basically that is what you need to know about Splunk. This is the search and reporting app. It allows you to search for the logs that has been maybe in the logs is from the forwarder. For now, I only have a few logs from 3 sources and 4 type from one host. That's my Ubuntu system. So I think we should just go to our command line interface so that we talk more on that. Okay, so I'm just going to go out of this CD into options so that we will go into our forwarder. Okay, that was for Splunk. So now we are going to go to our Splunk forwarder. Okay, I think I did a mistake there. Splunk forwarder. Okay, so same thing with Splunk forwarder. All you need to do is to download the forwarder from the official website of Splunk. Then to come in this form as well, and Splunk forwarder.debian. This is how to come in this form. Then you use sudo and dpkg, and you option I. Then you give the name of the app you're going to install. You just use sudo apt install. Then the name of the app, it will install it for you, and then you have this folder as well to work on. So I'll go into my bin folder. I'll go into my bin folder. Okay. CD into my bin folder. Okay, so then from here I can start my forwarder. Sudo Splunk Before I start, I'll just have to show you the the monitor files that my Splunk folder is actually monitoring now. Okay, so sudo I. Okay, I'm sorry about that. You are not in the wrong. You are not in the right file. I think it's this Splunk forwarder / bin. Okay, so we go with this. It's asking for my username. When you are installing it, you put in your username and your password. Okay, login fail. I think I used the wrong thing there. Okay, I think we are correct now. So this is our log file that we are actually monitoring now. We are monitoring var log snort alerts. We are also monitoring var log snort.alerts.pass. We are also monitoring. This was a case log I created by myself when I was trying to troubleshoot some things on Splunk, because it did not actually log most of the files from this file from this snort.alert. So I had to create another log file and then try to test some things, add some things to, stimulate some file and some alerts for it to log. So that was why I created this file. So how can you add a folder or a log? How can you add a log to Splunk forwarder? How can you add it to Splunk forwarder? So the Splunk forwarder will monitor that log and then send all the logs to the Splunk server. So basically, all you need to do is you use this. This is it. Splunk add monitor. So for example, add monitor var logs nodes and alert. So you can see it's going to tell me cannot create another input for this because it has already exists. So it cannot create another input for that because I've already I've already monitored that or put that as one of our monitored file. So it can't do that again. So you can also start, or you can also check the version of your Splunk forwarder, So you can see the forwarder is 9.4.3. And then for you to start your forwarder, all you need to do is sudo same thing as the Splunk device, sudo Splunk start. Okay, so it's already running. It will run in daemon mode. So it's already up and running. So for you to check the status, if it is running, all you need to do is then sudo Splunk and then sudo /Splunk and then status. You can see that Splunk D is running with this PID. So that means it is active, very, very active. So I think that is what you need to know for that. Okay, there's one thing you need to know as well. Okay, and the system into local. So we're just going to look at our output.com. I think sudo vim outputs.com. Okay, so this actually gives you an edge of what Splunk is doing. So if you have not configured this, I think you should do that before even starting your Splunk forwarder, or after configuration you should try to restart your forwarder. So you can see the server of my Splunk here is 127.0.0 on this port 9997. So it should be the IP address of your server and then the port that your server you actually activated or that actually opened in your server. So you can see this is the port I opened there and this is the IP address of my server. So I guess that is it for that, and that's what you should know for now. So I'm just going to create this. Let's going to create that, and our Splunk folder has already been started. So once you do that, you add your folder. You add your file, please. Add your file to Splunk forwarder, and then the folder forwarded to Splunk server. You will now go to your Search apps. Okay, your Search and reporting app. When you go to your Search and reporting apps, you can, if you know how to write some SPL language, that's search processing language, or for Splunk, you can do that, like the index equals to asterisk to print out all the logs. So you can see that these are the logs from my Ubuntu server, and this is the source of the log. Is with var log snort.alert fast. This is the source. The source type is alert2, and Splunk just try to extract some important field. We can also add your own extract if you wish. If you are monitoring some HTTP traffic or TCP traffic, where you need to add some field like the IP address, the source port, the destination port, and the rest, just to add the search, just to make sure ensure that you have a seamless search. So you can just add them in this extract file. So if you just click extract file, let's say I want to add something. Let's say I want to add message. We just have to choose this file, and then I think I'll copy. Okay. Okay, so after you have chosen a file from the list of this, after you have chosen a file from the list, you click on next. Then you can decide to add it as a regular expression or as a delimiter. I advise you go for regular expression. So select the method, then select the field you want to add. So select the field you want to extract. So let me say I want to extract this field. The name of the field should be messages. Okay, so add extract. Okay, so it will try its best to highlight that messages from all that field. So I'm adding it, I'm saving it, and then I think all apps. Okay, I'm good to go with that. So I'm finishing it. Explore the field. So after you have added your extract, you can also explore that field. So you can see that my extract has been added, messages. So ICMP detected is 70. So if you have other messages as well, it will also show other messages from here. But for now, we only have one message in our in our in our logs. So in our logs, we only have one messages for now. So we have a lot of messages it will show there. Okay, so apart from this, we can go back to our search. Let's go back to our search here. Go to our search. So data summary, you can look at this. The host is Ubuntu, and then the source is I have three sources, just as it was shown in our Splunk forwarder. So I have three sources: the var logs not allowed, the var logs not dot alert dot fast, and the test log, which I told you I use this to just test something. So you can look at this. You see, look at the filter here. Look at the filter here. For some reasons, you just get rid of this. Index. Okay, I think our other source type is down for now. So for now, we have only one source type. So that is it for that. This is for visualization and statistical for the pattern search or the rest. For now, we have 70 events from this folder, varlogs not alert.fast. So I think at this stage we have to call it a day. And thank you for watching up to this level. And I hope to see you in other series as well. So what we have done today is that we have looked at how to install Splunk, looked at how to install Splunk forwarder, and look at how to forward a log file. Look at how to forward a log file from our snort logs to Splunk and analyze it in real time. So thank you for watching up to this level, and I hope to see you in our other series. Goodbye. Until then, one love.